I think the word reference in hi-fi is being thrown around quite often now these days, and I think it usually reflects the listener's viewpoint into what audiophile is. For some, 500 euros gear can be a reference. To some, if it is below 200 euros, don't think about calling it nothing else than entry-level gear. And like many others, to me, word reference is very much in connection to what can gear do to satisfy many of your needs before the diminishing value creeps in, which means that you need to start investing significantly more to see a little more in upgrade. So it should not be mixed with best value, as to me, best value is strictly connected to how much it is priced on a market overall. But I also use it to compare to different devices, as when I want to buy something, I usually see how much is it better or worse than my reference gear, and how much it costs comparing to it, of course. Also, if you're interested in a great pairings of Phono Cartridges, please look at my video, which will be in the description of this video, of great Phono Cartridges under 750 euros. In it, I tried with every cartridge to explain, will it fit better with solid state or will it fit better with tube amps? So if you're looking for a cartridge companion, it could be a really interesting listen for you. To me, in Phono pre-amplifier world, Pro-Ject's Phono Box and Tube Box DS3 are those devices. They are not necessarily the best devices on the market, but you need to start investing significantly more in your gear to start getting less and less. And I can see that these two devices can be part of my arsenal for a very long time. But the purpose of this review is to analyze which one is for you, what is strength and what is weakness of each one, so you know when you buy to choose the right one for you, as they are similar in price but have different sonic signatures. But to start off, for who are these devices? They are for someone who is willing to invest in his turntable and to remove any bottleneck to truly open the sound. It is no mystery that Phono Preamps inside integrated amps can vary in quality from bad to good, but none of them cannot compare to external Phono Preamps. So no matter how much you invest in your turntable, you will not be able to hear it truly bloom and show its talents without the external Phono Preamp. It also allows to control impedance, gain, and to allow moving coil magnets to be used with the rest of your gear. I love external Phono Preamps. My eyes have been opened ever since I started using them, from the cheap ones to more mature that I use now. And I don't want to say that you need expensive phono for this. You can use cheaper and your sound will open to be more detailed as well. The great choice for the best value is Rega Phono Moving Magnet and Pro-Ject's Tube Box S2. You have reviews in this channel for both of them, but there has always been a struggle which phono sonic characteristics I like the most, the one coming from the solid states or the one coming from the tubes. I used to switch and change few of them, and like with many things hi-fi, your ears are always going to end up hungry for more. Maybe not necessarily more, but for any sound variation and change for it to sound different. Something that will push your boundaries in any kind of new direction. Firstly off, prepare for soundstage to open. I mean really open, no matter which one you choose. I think the reason for that is just how much more expensive are the dynamic range of the sound now. The more you hear, the more you perceive the larger scope of sound. It just places individual instruments in its lane and space, both horizontally and vertically. It is amazing the first time you hear your favorite music with the help of this preamp. It honestly is like magic. It completely unveils the sound in front of your eyes. Everything just becomes more mature as the sound gets a lot of elegancies of a great audiophile sound. Everything is more open, and yet the fine details within sound gets more pronounced and vivid. It, of course, is largely also dictated by your accompanying tone arm and phono cartridges, how talented they are in extracting and organizing the sound. But if you have talented accompanying gear, detail and texture of sound is going to be texturized so that every instrument gets its flavor, which means that you can tell by your ear how much production have been utilized to record it. It will tell you if something is wood, metal, hollow. It is incredible in giving you that audiophile experience. But the way that Phono and Tube Box provide you that excellency is a bit different and is worth considering when buying them. To me, Phono Tube Box is more pronounced in upper bass to mids, as the sound is weightier and smoother, and the sound presentation is a bit more relaxed in that sense. Midsection is more rounded. It is definitely for people who enjoy the sound with a great decay and reverb, as the sound will envelop you, and the way vocal sound with this amp is so lovely. The vocals have depth and weight and presence. It is amazing how smooth and lovely the vocals sound. There's a beautiful richness in mids that gives a great dynamic response to vocals. But the greatest plus of this phono is how the bass have definition and weight. It also with drums have this very materialistic approach to sounding bigger with a great texture and so much definition that it creates this great rhythmics that envelop the room and carries you away. It is incredible phono that will open the sound, detail it, and provide with some mesmerizing, beautiful, warm sound that is rich and weighty with spectacular vocals, reproduction, and of course bass. But how does Phono Box compare to the Tube Box? Well, the sound is definitely far more clearer. The way that treble and upper spectrum sound more pronounced. It is more detailed Phono Preamp, where extraction and transparency is so much more presented to the listener, including helping with blackening the background. If you prefer more clinical listening to have a great transparency, details, and insight, this might be more for you. It is also a balanced presentation to Tube's more warmer one. It definitely allows your gear to sound more precise with a great timing to it. It's also a great phono to be a more in a helping role, as it will better fit many other gear. That is true, it will fit better many other gears, cartridges, amps, whatever, and speakers, as Tube Box will push your coloration into a mix. Definition and precision of details allow for the separation to sound everything better, as it have this great soundstage and great separations among layers. Both Tube and Phono Box does a great job, but as far as separation, soundstage, and imaging, I think Phono Box is just better. Instruments have more attack and forward presence, so the music will be more rhythmic and live, in contrast to more relaxed presentation of Tube Box. Therefore, treble and mids sound amazing and detailed. I use the song I know so well to see the duality of these two preamps, and that is Kate Bush's Cloud Busting. The reason for that is that there are simple sides to that song, but also strings which are produced pretty high and present, almost fighting with Kate Bush for spotlight in the song. And there is a tempo which is built with different drums and percussions, almost like a galloping rhythm pulsating in the background of the song. Now, there is three things that I try to hear when analyzing the sound, and that is how well I can hear and identify those percussions, how well those sound layer separates, and how detailed and present is Kate's vocals in the song. If you like those details and percussions, it is Phono Box that is dominant here. It is capable into isolating them and compactualize them in their area with clarity, so that the tempo of the song and push is more crystallized with a great insight. There is more transparency and insight to them from Phono Box, and for those clinical heart and ears, this might be for you. But Kate's vocals felt more omnipresent with Tube Box. Here, vocals sounded more sweet and smooth, with a greater presence. It is a kind that I enjoy with my ears and heart. It is a great way to listen to music, and the sound just had more weight and presence, giving lower bass more definition. But when Kate reaches its peak and raises her voice at the end of chorus, it is so wonderful. Regarding the layer separation, all these keyboards and strings which are really present in the mix and sometimes even overpower her voice are well subdued by both. My ears could pick up enough details and textures so that they can separate enough from each other. Did Phono Box did a better job here? Maybe, probably. As much clearer presentation and more balanced one gave more blacker background that helps greatly with a layer separation. But Tube Box did not trail far away. It is just a massive sound, so that can be perceived as both strength and weakness. So, which one is for you? Maybe you will first want to know which one is for me. And that is a Tube Box. It is an answer that I answer with my heart, as at some points, looking from pure technical perspective, I believe that Phono Box is a better device, with more ways to pair with a different gear, as tubes needs careful system matching. But that beautiful, warm sound is truly a wonder, especially in a difference how Phono Box is a wonderfully sonically balanced. It truly touches your soul rather than your mind. I return to it more than Phono Box, so for me it is going to be those lovely tubes. In high-level explanation, it is all what kind of listener you are. If you like more clinical listening with a greater transparency and precision, you go with Phono Box. If you like more larger sound, more smooth and warmer sound with a excellent musicality and passion, you go with the Tube Box. But whatever you choose, you are not wrong. Both of these devices are amazing and will be your reference gear for years to come. It will unlock all the potential of your turntable and enhance the listening experience with more dynamics, details, and soundstage. It is a must-buy for any serious audiophile that listens to vinyl.